Wide star field over black void. Title appears over the cosmos. In the cold, silent depths of the cosmos, where trillions of stars drift in an ocean of black, you'd be forgiven for thinking we're completely alone. That there's nothing out there but gas, dust, and the indifferent twinkle of distant suns. But what if, across an unimaginable gulf of space and time, something was staring back? What if the universe itself had a face? And what if that face was looking right at us? 7. 500 light-years from Earth, in the southern constellation of Carina, a colossal face seems to be staring out from the heart of a stellar nursery. Its features are carved from glowing clouds of gas and dust, a profile so uncannily human it feels impossible. A distinct ridge forms a nose, a dark patch suggests an eye, and wispy filaments outline a chin and forehead. So, is this just a cosmic coincidence, a trick of light and shadow? Or is there a reason we feel like we're being watched from the depths of a distant nebula? This celestial portrait is stretched across a canvas dozens of light-years wide, in a region astronomers call NGC 3324. It's an emission nebula, which is basically a fancy term for a vast cloud of interstellar gas that's being lit up by the intense energy of newborn stars inside it. Think of it as a stellar nursery, a chaotic and beautiful place where new suns are forged from collapsing clouds of hydrogen. The brilliant, hot young stars at its center act like cosmic chisels. Their intense ultraviolet radiation and powerful stellar winds blast away at the surrounding gas and dust, carving out immense cavities and sculpting the cloud's edges into the wild shapes we see. The face is simply the edge of one of these gigantic, hollowed-out bubbles. The interplay of bright, glowing gas and dark, dense dust creates a celestial version of chiaroscuro, and it's this cosmic artistry that gives rise to the profile we think we see. Fittingly, this nebula was nicknamed the Gabriela Mistral Nebula, in honor of the Nobel Prize-winning Chilean poet. And recently, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope gave us an even closer look at a section of this nebula known as the cosmic cliffs, revealing the star-forming process in breathtaking detail, including baby stars that were previously hidden. But even with this new clarity, the illusion of a face remains, a testament to the powerful patterns our minds are driven to find. Seeing a face in a nebula isn't as strange as it sounds. Our entire history is filled with moments of looking at something random and seeing something familiar. We see animals in the clouds, figures in wood grain, and of course, the man in the moon. This phenomenon has a name: pareidolia. Pareidolia is the psychological tendency to see a familiar pattern, usually a face, in a random or ambiguous shape. It's a glitch in our pattern recognition software. The most famous cosmic example of this was the face on Mars. Back in 1976, NASA's Viking 1 orbiter snapped an image of a mesa in the Cydonia region of Mars that looked shockingly like a human face. For years, that one photo fueled wild speculation about ancient Martian civilizations. It became a pop culture icon. The mystery wasn't solved until the late 90s, when the Mars Global Surveyor took much higher resolution pictures. These new photos with different lighting and angles revealed the face for what it was: a totally natural hill, eroded by Martian wind. The face was just a trick of light and shadow, and yet, even knowing the science, it's hard to unsee it. Our brains are just that good at finding faces. Return to Gabriela Mistral Nebula, shown now through the lens of pareidolia. The Gabriela Mistral Nebula has plenty of company in the cosmic art gallery. Travel about 500 light-years to the constellation Gemini, and you'll find NGC 2392. For a long time, it was called the Eskimo Nebula because it looks like a face surrounded by a fur-lined hood. Because that nickname is now considered insensitive, astronomers often call it the Clown-Face Nebula or the Lion Nebula. It's not a stellar nursery but a planetary nebula, the glowing, expanding shell of gas from a dying, sun-like star. Then there's the Owl Nebula, or M97, in Ursa Major. It's another planetary nebula, but it looks like a round, pale orb with two distinct dark patches, giving it the unmistakable appearance of an owl's face staring out of the dark. Those eyes are just spots where the gas is less dense, letting us see through to the darkness beyond. But the effect is incredible. Some cosmic apparitions are even more on the nose. The Helix Nebula is so perfectly shaped like a human eye it's been nicknamed the Eye of God. Elsewhere, you can find the Witchhead Nebula with its sinister profile and the Hand of God, a pulsar wind nebula shaped by magnetic fields into what looks like a colossal, reaching hand. These aren't messages, they're the beautiful, chaotic, and coincidental results of physics playing out on a galactic scale. So why do we see these things? The answer isn't out there in the nebulae. It's inside our own heads. Our brains are active interpreters, constantly trying to make sense of the visual information flooding in. Facial recognition is one of our most highly developed survival skills. From the moment we're born, we are primed to look for faces. Being able to instantly spot a friend or foe, read emotions, or notice a predator hiding in the brush was critical for our ancestors. This skill is so deeply wired into our brains that we operate on a better safe than sorry principle. It's better to mistakenly see a face in a cloud than to miss the face of a real threat. This hypersensitivity means our facial recognition circuits are easily triggered. A couple of dots and a line is all it takes for our brain to shout, "Face." The random patterns of light and dark in a nebula can, by pure chance, create a shape that hits those triggers. It's not the universe trying to look like us. It's us who can't help but see ourselves in the universe. We're projecting our own image onto the cosmos. Let's go back to that face in NGC 3324. While our brains provide the interpretation, the raw material is sculpted by some of the most powerful forces in the universe. A nebula like this is a violent place. At its heart are massive young stars unleashing a torrent of high-energy ultraviolet radiation. This radiation slams into the surrounding cloud of cold hydrogen gas, stripping electrons from their atoms and causing the nebula to glow, kind of like how electricity lights up a neon sign. But these stars also produce incredibly powerful stellar winds, streams of particles rushing outwards at millions of miles per hour. It's the combined pressure of this radiation and these winds that does the sculpting. The process is like a sandblaster carving away at a surface. The stellar forces erode the less dense parts of the nebula, creating huge cavities. Where the gas and dust are denser, they resist, leaving behind the towering pillars, sharp ridges, and glowing rims that we see as the cosmic cliffs and, of course, the face. What looks like a static portrait is actually the boundary of an ongoing cosmic battle between gravity pulling matter together and radiation tearing it all apart. The universe is filled with these incredible sights, patterns that are both scientifically fascinating and breathtakingly beautiful. What do you see when you look at the Gabriela Mistral Nebula or the Owl Nebula? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to journey to more of these cosmic mysteries, Make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next trip into the cosmos. That nebula that looks like a face? It isn't watching us. It's an illusion, a beautiful coincidence born from chaotic physics and our own pattern-seeking minds. But that doesn't make it any less profound. The fact that we see a face in its swirling clouds says far more about us than it does about the nebula. It reveals a deep human desire to find connection, to see a familiar form in the vast, impersonal emptiness of space. It's a reflection of our own consciousness looking out at the cosmos and hoping to find a mirror. These cosmic illusions are reminders that while we may be small, our minds are vast enough to project themselves onto the very fabric of the universe. And in that sense, every time we look up, the universe is, in a way, looking back.